earlier than anticipated, but we're taking on the Queen's Legacy chapters of the Forsaken Cainhurst Castle expansion for Bloodborne, the board game. Get your words out. This is a day straight after. I'm that excited to get into this and record it and actually have a successful run. But there's a few things to go over before we kick off, because I didn't realise it when I unboxed this, but I've realised it as I've had a go at this. There are some changes that are quite significant to the way this one plays. And for example, you only ever have two enemies. There are only ever two enemies available to you, and that's because on these tiles for the Forsaken Cainhurst Castle, there's only those two symbols. There are no beast symbols whatsoever. What's more is you only use the Cainhurst Castle tiles. You don't use any of the other ones whatsoever. Other than that, it should be relatively straightforward. I've had a quick look at setup, and for chapter 2 we have done what it asked us to do, which was to make sure that we only use the tiles for Forsaken Cainhurst Castle. We've placed the rooftop Queen's Chamber to the side, and we are only using the Bloodlicker and Lost Child of Antiquity. Interestingly, there is a Bloodlicker Starved card, and we haven't got that. I'm assuming that is for a different variation. Oh, and I'll talk through what we actually need to do for this chapter. So we reveal it on start 1. We end a move on the rooftop access tile to reveal card 6, end a move on the empty corridor for reveal card 9, end a move on the library for reveal card 11. With this, we have actually got a little bit of introduction, which I'm going to read to you. Bear with, I'm reading at a dodgy angle. The mysterious carriage thunders through the streets of the city, then beyond. Your mind feels as if in a haze during this ride, and you cannot be sure exactly how long you have travelled, or where, but you know the familiar streets of Yharnam are far behind you. As it comes to a halt, you open the carriage door and are immediately enveloped by the frigid night, ice and snow covering all around you. In the distance looms a massive ancient castle. You have arrived at Cainhurst. Other than that, everything is pretty standard for me. We have got our threaded cane hunter just for a change. I did run through the first chapter again yesterday, as I decided that my play was null and void because I got the stagger stun wrong. So my deck is a tiny bit different. I don't have that wonderful dodge card in there. Instead, I've got 2 stagger upgrades. Other than that, I think we are just about ready to kick off. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, that is the right number of cards that I should be having. Got all the tokens to the side to save space, because we actually use every single tile for this. Every single tile from Cainhurst. So let's kick off. Draw 3 cards. There's our deck. We have the Queen's Legacy Hunt Mission out, which is card 1, ready for us, and it says, within the hallway, a decrepit servant furiously scrubs away at the floor, continuously mutters about clearing the pests infesting the castle. Nonsense. But if you are to properly explore this place, the beasts could prove a problem. Place 1 insight for each hunter, plus 3 on this insight tokens on this card, so 4 insight for us. Each time an enemy is slain, remove 1 token, end a move on the entranceway lamp tile after all tokens have been removed. To remove from this card, reveal card 2. So that is our main focus. We've got our only reward from the first chapter, which is Covenant of the Vilebloods. Didn't do anything different. We have our Corruption and we have our Old Hunter Bone. But other than that, we are pretty much ready to go. So I'll put these to the side, save a bit of space. And let's see where we're going to kick off. We've got Dodge, Stagger, and a +1. It's a nice card because it clears the slot, but at the same time, realistically, I'd want to be using it for Stagger. I'm set to the Stagger side as well, so we'll see how we go. I have no idea what to anticipate from this, because last time I tried this, I died very quickly. So I'll spend this 1 in order to move 2, and we will go up. We draw a corner. This could change how I lay out the table, as always. So we'll put that up there, and that can try and be the cap of everything. We need an item tile, and we've found a kin enemy, which for us is a Lost Child of Antiquity. And since we've encountered him, 1, and I'll move 2, and he'll follow me because I went through space. We'll have a look at his card whilst we're at it. So Like with the previous, they are double-sided, and we've gone for this one. So we have a basic of Wing Lash, 2 speed, 2 damage. A special, which is a Dummer Slam. After resolving all attacks, unless this attack was staggered, Lost Child makes 1 additional double slam attack. And his ability, unless we dodge 3, they and the Lost Child move 2 spaces toward the nearest enemy, and then the hunter suffers 2 damage. Not a nice enemy to kick off, but that's what we found. What I'm thinking is we play, because his horrible attack is going to be the slowest speed. If we play a stagger adaptive to slash, and we'll get to clear that slot regardless, that'll be our attack. He will try and hit us with a special, which is much slower. So we will do 2 damage to him, and he is staggered, which means that he doesn't get to do his action. Of course, the condition for his attack relies entirely on him being able to conduct the attack. So that's a good play to start off with. We clear that slot. It's looking pretty good. I am now thinking that we could try and play this a little bit push your lucky. We'll play our dodge to quick cut. No, we'll play it to slash, because that way then we can at least take him out fully. He's going to try and hit us back with a basic, so that's the exact same speed. I could use the old hunter burn to avoid that damage entirely, but I'm going to choose not to, which means that we will take that 2 damage at the same speed that he takes his 2 damage, which will kill him. And here's a good opportunity for me to put those insight on that card that I should have done. And remove 1 straight away, so that would have been 4. Take away the one that I've just taken out, and 3. Not a bad start. We've got 1 tile in, killed 1 enemy. We've only taken 2 damage. Not bad. End of the round means that we advance the track, no enemies to activate, so we are now in a position where we can just carry on. Let's draw some more cards. 1, 2, 3. I guess we'll go into the left. Let's hope that it's another corner so we can loop back on ourselves. What do we get? Some more staggers, so that's basically all my good staggers gone. I will spend... That should have been cleared, sorry. We'll get rid of this stagger. Okay, so we have got a junction, and there is nothing in here. So again, slide this that way. There'll be a lot of feng shui in this, I feel. And we'll move 1, 2, we'll populate that with an iron. Let's see if we can't get a loop going. I'll spend this basic to move another 2, which will mean, oh, have we ended the turn on anything? Empty corridor, roof to access, library, those are the ones we're looking for. We've had no name tiles yet. So we'll carry on, spend that card, and we get... That's quite a nasty looking tile. So that's 1, 2. So now we actually have 1 of each. So we have a Blood Liquor here, and we have a Lost Child of Antiquity here. Not a great start, but hey, we'll carry on as we mean to go on. So let's have a look at the Blood Liquor card while we've got an opportunity. Now this is set to the faster side. And of course we have 3 speed, 2 damage, 3 speed, 2 damage, stagger, so we don't get to do an attack, and Blood Frenzy. Flip another enemy action. Blood Liquor's next attack does +1 damage for each Blood Liquor on the hunter. Horrible, so the better we're doing, the more damage he's going to do. I'm thinking we just... They're only going to move 1 towards me. If I can get some good distance between us without another enemy. So I'm actually going to burn that in order to try and make a good run. Oh, okay, that's not too bad, that's not too bad. So we would move 1, they'd move towards me, 2, and we get to populate that. Neither of those enemies progress 2 at any point, so we are okay for the minute, but we have ended a turn on the library, so we need to reveal card number 11. Hidden Passage. You spot the movement of dust from one of the bookcases. Inspecting it, it does indeed appear to move. You locate the trigger mechanism hidden in a row of false books, some missing. Without these locks, you see no way of moving the towering case. End and move on the entrance lamp space, reveal card 12. So we've just got to make our way back down there. It's not too bad. Our turn's over. Enemy activation, they move one towards me because they're within one tile. Advance the track. Carry on. I'm looking at the layout of this and I'm feeling like that is going to be quite tricky if we run out of locations to place things, but it may work in our favour. We'll draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Let's carry on. Advance the track. Dodge, stagger, dodge. Oh. There's no way to realistically get either of those on their own. What does this do? Instead of drawing a random, draw 3 and select 1, shuffle the rest in back into the deck. I'm going to do that. I'm going to activate, use that item. So I get to interact that item and we will draw 3. 1, 2, 3. And we get to pick 1 to keep. And we found Coldu, teleport the hunter to any lamp space, Molotov. I'm going to take the Bold Hunter mark. And what I'm thinking is if I can use that to try and just get away from these guys, it might do me favours. But we've only got 1 lamp tile out at the minute. Let's make some more progression. Let's spend... actually, you know what? Let's move all this over here and I'm going to use that Bold Hunter mark straight away. I'm just going to abandon that corner and just try not to use it. So if I use the Bold Hunter mark, that'll teleport me to the entrance lamp tile. And we have now done that, so we get to reveal card 12, which is something in the way of our favour, possibly. It says, Hidden Passage. Returning, you see the servant from before, still diligent in his task. As you pass, he begins to mutter, secrets, secrets in the library. The statues guard the secrets, they do. Is there some truth in his ramblings? Interact on the statutory corridor, not statutory, it's not obligatory. Statutory corridor, reveal card 13. So we're looking for another location. Alright, let's spend this stagger. I know stagger's what we're going for with this character at the minute, but I feel like having a dodge is going to be more beneficial if we're going into trouble. Okay. That's made us a loop. So that's 1. I'm going to end it there, just looking at this with its population, because we've got another bloodlicker and another lost child of Antiquity. There will be an item on this tile. We are gonna die. I'm looking at this. These guys are gonna start heading towards us. These guys are definitely gonna get to me. It's a proper ambush. I have been set up royally. But needs a must. I could just interact, spending that just to make some progression. Card 13. It's going to sound quite weird, but hopefully it'll be a boss, because it'll mean that the other enemies will despawn and only the boss will be there, which means that it's something I can actually manage. Card 13. Hidden passage, indeed. Within the grasp of one of the statues, you find a book. Entirely out of place. This is no coincidence. There is more at play here. Regardless, you should now be able to access the lock in the library. Gain 1 insight token, the missing book. Complete this mission by interacting on the library space with the missing book. What? Alright. This is very strange, because it doesn't feel like it's getting me to fight anything. It feels very much investigative, a lot more lore hunting. Apart from, of course, this one, which is entirely centred on fighting. Right, end of my turn, which means the enemies will progress towards me. and we'll make him activate in turn order. We'll activate in turn order, which means that it'll be kin first, so the blood liquor will activate and attack us. Do I want to try and hit him back? No, I think it would be better to try and hit the Lost Child of Antiquity back. So he hits us with a basic, which is 2 damage. 1, 2. Oh, and then the Lost Child will try and hit us. So I'm going to use the cannon for a 1 speed, 3 damage attack. And he'll try and hit us with, not a special, basic. And I am going to use the old Hunter Bun to avoid that entirely. So we've done 3 damage to that Lost Child of Antiquity. So now we are in a position where if we do just make a single hit on him, we will kill him. I still feel like we're pushing his luck very hard. Advance the track. Last 3 cards. Stagger, +1, draw 1. No dodges. All of our attacks are going to be faster, so we've got realistically no caution unless, of course, he gets that ability, which is very, very likely. So let's just... Oh, I've used that. Let's just risk it. No harm, no foul. We will use our draw 1 to this quick cut. So we get to draw a card. This might be pointless because if it's that ability, I am dead because he's going to move us and then he's going to hit us hard. It's a stagger, not helpful. He hits us with the ability. So his ability is, unless the hunter dodges 3 speed, which we can't, they and the Lost Child move 2 spaces towards the nearest enemy, and the hunter suffers 2 damage, and that 2 damage would be the final bit that would kill us. So we have died. We go here, our blood echo is lost. The track advances for our death, which means that everything heals and everything resets, which swings and roundabouts. It means there's a more of a clear path, but still a faff. We would heal fully, our weapon would be reset, but then it is the end of the round, which means that we have to, regardless, advance the track again. I got about this far when I played. I didn't do any missions though, I just investigated, and it was entirely centred around that being cornered and then annihilated. Not sure whether there. I could always go the other direction, see if I can't get all the tiles out. Let's try it. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Do I want to come back on that side? Actually, I should shuffle that in fairness. Do I want to come back on that side? I'm very stagger heavy, might be worth it. I'll stick with that side. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then we are going to have to choose to get that back as well. I am going to continue investigating, so I'll spend this +1 to continue moving. I'm going to go to the right. We've got another corner, but this time it is... Oh, it's another Lost Child of Antiquity. Oh, I've mixed them up. I've used the Lost Child there when it should have been the blood liquor. I'm going to swap them. Because so far it wouldn't make any difference. And luckily that is one of those rare situations where it hasn't made a difference. So that now is a blood liquor. When the last one was a Lost Child, because I've mixed. I'm not looking properly. So he's going to hit, and he's going to hit hard when he comes. But we can stagger at the same speed, which might be in our favour. So what I'm going to choose to do is I will end my turn. He will move 1 towards us and engage, and we'll use that stagger on that quick cut, which is we can stagger at the same speed. He will use a special. Because we hit at the same speed, we hit each other, but ours has got stagger at that speed, so we stop his attack entirely. So he takes 1 damage, which ain't massive, but it's a step in right direction towards this mission, and a step in right direction towards us surviving. End of round, draw 2 new cards. So we've got 3. Okay, we've got that stagger again. We need a dodge ideally, but I don't think we're going to be able to get it. We might be best running, which is not my jam. Or we could just power through and try and kill him. We've got to shuffle these next, which means that we've got a risk of getting that dodge back out, which is not what we want. Let's risk it. I'm going to use a +1 on this deadly thrust. He's going to hit us first no matter what, so we'll always take 2 damage. It's not end of world, but let's see what we can do. So we're doing 4 damage against him for our attack. He's going to try and hit us back with... Oh, a basic, okay. So we only take 2. Then we hit him with that deadly thrust, which would be 4, which pots up to 5. So that is him dead. That's good. Get a blood echo. We can remove 1 insight off of here. And then we could actually carry on moving, which I think we've got no choice to do, so I'll use this. Oh, that's a dodge. Use your eye. I'm going to move 2, 1, 2. Do I want it to open? I've got to make it open up that way. If it can make sense, it should make sense. So this last one must be the empty corridor and the rooftop access. So we've got 2, and that is another blood liquor. We can't dodge his attack no matter what we do. And in fact, actually, we can't really do anything towards helping us. So we may be best running, which I don't like doing again. But he's going to follow us no matter what. So I'm going to spend that to run. I'm going to go 1. He'd follow us for leaving the tile. 2. End of the round, because it's the end of our turn. All enemies activate within 1 tile. That is not connected. That's connected, so he'd move 1. We advance the track. Draw new cards. Might need a second hunter for this one, I'm feeling. Right. Dodge, stagger, draw 1 stagger. We could make some progress towards. I feel like I need to do something towards getting more stuff out available to us. So let's spend the stagger to transform our weapon. And then we will be at least able to have a fresh lot of attacks. I'm then going to end my turn. He'll move towards us. We'll play a stagger, draw 1 to this 2-speed attack. We need to be able to dodge it, is what I'm thinking, which we can, luckily, but we get to draw 1 regardless, so we get another draw 1, beautiful. We draw his, and he uses his special, which is 3 speed, 2 damage. So I'm going to dodge that to take no damage and avoid the stagger. We'd clear that slot, and we do 2 damage to him. We might be better just constantly tangoing with these guys, trying to get them to reduce to 0. I do love the design of them, but I know I mentioned it in my unboxing, but these guys are really prominent in the Hunter's Nightmare expansion for the... it's called the Old Hunters expansion for the video game. And I do feel like they have really missed a trick by not announcing or incorporating that, because you've got lots of weapons from there. There's the Whirligig Sword, the Hunter's Scythe, all stuff that were incredible, but they didn't choose to include it in here. So I'm feeling like there will be another set of expansions included, which will be the Old Hunters expansion. Mainly just because of these guys. That is the only reason I'm feeling like there will definitely be, but then you'd need the Cainhurst. I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling for the sake of rambling. Anyway, that is the end of the round, which means that we advance it, which means that he heals fully. And we'll go back here, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it does mean that this chap is going to reappear here. We'd draw up. We're really trapped. I'm really stuck. I want to get to that library, but I also want to kill these enemies. We're not hitting hard enough. That's my problem. We're not hitting hard enough. So I'm going to spend this draw 1 to move on to a spot. Then I'll use this dodge to use a flay attack, which will get cleared. So that's 2 damage. Heal attack back with a basic. And we'll dodge it by using that. That gets cleared as well. So we do 2 damage to him. I do have a plan in my head. I know I've not announced it, but I do actually have a plan. I'm not just playing cards for the sake of playing cards. That's the end of my turn. He activates and he will try and attack us, and we're going to risk it and use that cannon, hoping that he doesn't get a special. He gets a basic. Easy peasy then. So we'll take 2 damage, but then we hit him with 3 damage, which is going to kill him. That guy would have activated and moved there though. So we have just killed this chap. Another blood echo. Another insight removed. Not seen an ability from these guys yet, but I feel like that's to my benefit. Advance the track. Draw new cards. 1, we've had 2 draws, have we? I've still got 1 in the attacks as well. 2, 3. We've got dodge, draw. We could get some headway if I went 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's going to get me really close. If I went 1, 2, 1, end my turn, he'd activate and move there, we'd go 1, 2, they'd follow. They're going to follow me regardless. We need to do something in order to separate these, or we need to go all the way around and get to these, and I feel like that is a really long way around. Or we could go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. It would only be these 2 that would be able to activate. And I could just abuse these in order to save myself. Let's do it. Why not? I don't feel like I've actually done anything. 1, 2, he'll go there. 1, he'd follow into there. 2, these 2 horribles would go here. Burn this one. 1, they'd follow to there. Stop. Don't do anything daft because end of my turn they'll activate. He'd move into here. They'd move here. It's looking pretty tight. But now they activate, which would be the Lost Child of Antiquity first, we're going to say. And he's going to hit us with his ability. So he's going to pick us up, move us, put us back down, and we'll take 2 damage. Do we draw another card afterwards? We do not, so we just take 2 damage. Luckily for us, the closest enemy is on the same tile. That'll kill us. Oh no! Let it kill us. And we'll use the Carol Rune Corruption in order to heal fully. Gonna regret that, I know I am. The Blood Liquor will activate, and he will choose to hit us with a special, which is a stagger, but we can't do anything to stop. Oh, we could just hold Hunter Burn to avoid it. Easy peasy. Advance the track. New round. We survived. Despite our current circumstances. 3 new cards. And what I'm thinking is we just play and mess about in order to avoid these guys. So what I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to burn this in order to go 1, they'll follow me. 2, he'll follow me. They only move 1 when you leave their space, or they move 1 when you leave their tile. I left their space, then I left his space. Now I've only got him to contend with. And I'm going to choose to use this to interact with the tile. So he'll get a free hit against me. Now can I dodge that? I think I can. I just can't retaliate. So what I'm thinking is, he's going to hit us with a basic, so we can dodge that, which I will dodge at the same speed. And that interaction means that we have interacted on the library to reveal card 14, and hopefully that will whisk us away to somewhere much nicer than here, because I'm about to have 5 enemies all attack me at the same time. 14. Former guests. 14? Former guests, oh hello. Distribute the empty phantasm shell and hunter blunderbuss firearm amongst the hunters. The case groans as it shifts, revealing a small hovel. Within it rests desiccated corpse of a hunter, tools still clutched in hand. As you reach for them, a decayed hand latches onto your wrist. Pulling back, the hand becomes with you. But beyond that, nothing. Dark, like it. So we now have the empty phantasm shell. We've got... oh, it increases +1 damage, +1 speed. Not the most helpful thing we could have got at that point, but that's one thing taken down. We only need to kill one more enemy. They're all going to activate. So he'll move on, he'll move on. They're all in this one space. I don't know how I can emphasise that anymore, that I am completely surrounded by those guys. And we'll have the Lost Children of Antiquity activate first. Abilities will take 2 damage. Then one will use a special, which will be 3 damage. And because it wasn't blocked or dodged, he'll do another 3 damage. He'll do it again, sorry, which means that we are dead. That was beautiful. I like that. Our death means we lose those. We advance the track for our death. We reset our hunter. I feel like that was a waste. Absolute waste. Oh well. We've now got a direction to go, and I'm feeling like it's not the way we just went. 1, 2, 3. Put us back over here. The track advances for the end of the round as well, which means that all of these nasties just happily go back to where they were. How lovely for them. How frustrating for us, but how lovely for them. And this chapter reappears as well. And then we have this one here. So we've only got 1 Lost Child of Antiquity not on the board. Oh man, we've had our bottoms handed to us here, haven't we? We'll respawn here, just for a change. I'm feeling a bit deflated because I feel like I wanted one hunter to be able to do it. I don't feel like one hunter can. Spend that to move 2. 1, 2. Spend this to move 2. 1. Did come with me. Empty corridor. Oh my days, look at the positioning. 2, look at that, as if I was going to run out of space and have to find a way to rotate all this army. Yeah, well. 2, so we now leave their location. So we go 1, 2, we're with them. 1, they move with us. 2, they don't move the second time. We're okay for the minute, but we're never going to fit 5 tiles across there. I'm going to have to put it up here somewhere and just pretend it's connected. Frustrating. But we've ended the turn on the empty corridor, which means that we reveal card 9. Solo ain't easy on this one. Hidden Guardian. In the corridor you find another servant slumped on the floor, prying it no mind you move forth. But as you do, you see it stand and withdraw a rapier from its side. So this one is not much like the others. Spawn 1 Cain servant Knight on the empty corridor space. It is not removed on a reset, but heals all health. Complete the mission by slaying the servant. Right, okay, you have to give me a second while I get all this stuff out. Here he is, the Cain servant, and here is the side we got. We don't get a choice, it's either 1 to 2 player or 3+ players. Basic rapier cannot be dodged. The hunter attack. If the hunter's attack is 2 speed or 1 speed, you block 1. Otherwise, it's a deadly thrust of 4 speed, and the ability is parry. Unless the hunter's ability attack staggers, the hunter's attack is staggered, and they suffer damage equal to their attack. Oh, no, thank you. Right. So he has got the capacity to follow us. So what I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to run. I'm going to spend this last card to move 2. And we've got rooftop access, which, as we know, is connected to here. So 1. Oh good, a lost child of Antiquity. And lucky for us, this chap would also follow. And I'll stop there and we'll just find out what this is before we get absolutely annihilated. Card 6. My days, this is hard. The noblewoman. The hallway seems to be untouched by the decay of the rest of the castle. Before you ponder this, you see a young noblewoman slumped against the wall in a deep pool of blood. Rushing to her, you find her she still lives, though barely. We may save her still. Place an insight token on this card. While on the rooftop access tile, you may discard their held blood echoes. For each one discarded, remove 1 token. So we only need to put 1 on there because it's 1 for every hunter that symbol. And when we do, we reveal card 7. So we just need to kill something and discard a blood echo there. We've actually not managed to hold on to any thus far. Either way, rounded end and they'd activate, and I believe the Cain's servant would activate first, and he's going to hit us with a special. Now I should have actually reset all these apart from that one. His special is 4 damage. We'll be dodging that. And then the Lost Child of Antiquity's attack is a basic, which is 2 damage. 1, 2. End of round, advanced track. We're not in a good position, but we're in a stronger position than we were. 1, 2, 3. And we got stagger, draw 1, clear all. Stagger and draw 1, a draw 1, and a dodge. So that'd have been reset and all, wouldn't it? Couple. Play your cards, right? We are on the set that lets us dodge best, so we could kill that Lost Child of Antiquity, discard that Blood Echo, and finish both those missions. And possibly want to avoid that Cain Knight entirely. Let's try that. So what I'm going to choose to do is we will use our cannon. The Lost Child of Antiquity will try and hit us back with his basic, so we will choose to dodge that at the same speed. So that's 3 damage, that'd make it 4 damage, that would kill him. So that's our Blood Echo. That's that insight removed. Should have removed that because that's the book. And it's all enemies, so it would actually deal 1 damage to the Cain Knight as well, which may help us in the coming moments. So we've done that one, which says end a move on the entrance lamp after all tokens have been removed, reveal card 2. Well, chances are we're only going to do that when we die, and that shouldn't be too long away. This one, we can just discard this Blood Echo. When this card has no tokens remaining, reveal card 7. I feel like this is going to be an enemy spawn. Okay, it says, the noble looks up to you, her eyes empty and hollow. In an instant, the scene changes, and standing before you stands the same girl, though now ethereal and pale. Ethereal, sorry, and pale. She looks to you, then turns with an otherworldly grace, floats down the passageway. Place a Forsaken Castle Spirit. It is not hostile. Okay, that's handy. On the rooftop access. When a hunter moves out the space, you take the spirit with them. Complete this mission after the spirit moves into the library tile. Okay. Give me a second. Let me get that out and all. Here she is, our ethereal new friend. Let's put her down on this tile. She is not hostile. I do really like the fact that this expansion is entirely trying to incorporate those models because it's got them. But at the same time, I always dislike the fact that it says, these are the enemies you need, so you get them out, you put everything else back in the box, you're ready to play, and then halfway through it says, oh, by the way, you need these 4 models, why have you not got them? I feel that's a pain. It's good, and it's thematic, it means it's got to always keep you on your toes, but at the same time, it's a faff when you're recording. When you're not recording, it's fine, but when you're recording, it's a mess about. Right. We are going to probably want to try and... We can actually get to the library, I think. We'll spend this to leave, which means that we'll go to here. That's 1. He'll follow us. She'll follow us. Then we'll go 2. And only she'll follow us. Then we'll spend this one to move another 2. And we'll go 1. They'll all follow us. 2. But only she'll follow us. End of the turn on the library. Reveal card 8. Oh, look at that. Echoes of the past. Distribute the Carol Rune Eye and a call beyond reward amongst the hunters. The spirit stops, raising a ghostly hand and pointing towards a small alcove before fading into the cold. Inspecting the location, you find a hidden switch, revealing a secluded area containing numerous tools and trinkets. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got a call beyond, which is incredible. And the Carol Rune Eye, which again is really good because Eye lets you keep a... you can discard a card to get a card. But now we've got 3 hunter tools, and I'm thinking Call Beyond is better than Empty Phantasm Shell. So we'll put that, and that is still within our reach, but we need to choose to take it. No, it isn't. It's just rotated across hunters. We don't have a third hunter, so second hunter, so we're stuck. So she's gone. See you later. And now we end our turn entirely, which means that we would advance the track in a second when these guys activate. One moves here, he moves here, he moves here, he moves here. It's like deja vu, isn't it? Let's shuffle these up. We get a basic from him, so that's 2 damage to us, which means that no matter what happens, I think we're dead. Basic, yep, we're dead. So 6 death. On the plus side, these get flipped. The track advances for our death, the track advances for that, which means that it is the final round. But we will... He just heals, he doesn't disappear or anything. We will be able to respawn on the entrance lamp tile, which means that we'll be able to move to mission 2. And hopefully it's something we have mostly done, although I'm highly doubting it. We've done that one. I've done that one. 1, 2, 3. I should have changed the stance of my weapon as well. So we would have died, gone to the Hunter's Dream, come back and appear on the entrance hallway, and it says, end a move on the entrance hallway when there is no cards left, reveal card 2. Oh, okay. End a move on the rooftop tile. I'm going to read the first bit. You return to find the servant brutally slain. This was not the work of any beast, however. Bloodied steps, human steps, lead off down the corridor. Someone else has followed you here. I'm going to put money on it being Alfred, but hey, that's just me. End a move on the rooftop tile after collecting at least 2 inside this chapter. Reveal card 3. Oh, we've done that. Oh, we've done that. So, how are we going to get there? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Everyone's going to follow us again. And I'm going to end up dying and regretting this, but oh well. 1, 2, 1. Come on. 2. He should be there. Let me just double count. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Should have been a third card, yeah. 1. We've ended our move there. We've got to insert reveal card 3. Yeah. Why, Mr. Laborious? Why conceal this path from us? Ascending the ladder, you find Alfred blooded but alive, and a number of executioners standing before you. Turn, rage burns in Alfred's eyes. You, the traitor. Reveal card 4. Surround the rooftop tower fog gate, spawn Alfred, represented by his token, and executioners equals the number of hunters, represented by insight tokens, on the space. They respawn to that space on a reset. Complete the hunt when no enemies remain on the rooftop. Reveal card 5. And card 4 is the executioners. They're represented by insight tokens. They've got 2 HP. Don't respawn. They're just try-hard knights. Alfred will be respawned and have 7 health. I never do this, but I'm going to end it there. It's a guaranteed loss. We have no cards. We have no time. We have 2 enemies, one of which is a mini-boss. The other one is going to be the Lost Child of Antiquity, and then Alfred as a boss. And I feel like, actually, thinking back, as much as I might have wasted a single, maybe 2 turns, that is the best we could have hoped for. This big loop nearly, well, didn't actually take that long to construct. It was this library statutory whole combo with this corridor that we kept on ending up in. That needed to be more central to other stuff as well. That needed to be there, realistically. I've really enjoyed that. Don't get me wrong, I've really enjoyed that. But hindsight tells me next time I play this will be definitely with 2 hunters. And I'm thinking, unfortunately, and I hate saying this, but the threaded cane hunter isn't up to this task. I'm going to have to get something with a really heavy hit. A really heavy hit. And I'm almost tempted to either go Hunter Axe, or maybe even crack open the Chalice Dungeon and Kickstarter exclusive stuff and get the Kirkhammer Hunter in. I don't know. I've enjoyed doing this. That is a death entirely. I will probably have another attempt, but if I don't, I will play this one entirely off screen. And instead, the next time you see this, it might either be, if it was a successful one, it'll be this again. If it's not a successful one, it will be me doing the Martyr's Legacy and not the Vileblood Queen's Legacy. Anyway, thank you ever so much for sticking around for so long. I've enjoyed playing this. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I will catch you next time.